Hello, and welcome to Let's Roleplay. I am not your host. I am not Duhad. I am Kit. I am the GM for this one, the Team 1 of Star Wars D6. I am joined today by Winter,
Hello.
Time Knight,
Hey!
Moonstruck Ragamuffin,
Hey.
and Morath.
Hello.
And I will probably be using other names for them, but, well, if you watch the channel, you're probably used to that by this point. Let's do a quick rundown of the characters again, because it's a new recording session, and then we'll get in on things. So, starting with Winter.
Alright, I am playing Brass, the Gungan explorer who is inadvertently our pilot, though he's not great at it, considering we're here in our current situation.
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
And Time Knight?
I am Chaknam, the Keldor slicer, who has recently discovered he is force sensitive. I believe I feel like that's just kind of enough for right now, I guess.
Yep. Moonstruck?
I am playing Rosa, the reluctant pseudo-leader of this gang of misfits. And clearly the youngest of everyone.
He who holds the lightsaber gets to speak.
Apparently.
And Morath.
I play Galena, the stoic and somehow still infuriatingly superior sounding happen who tends to just be smug and sit in a corner most of the time.
Okay, well, when last we left our heroes, they had managed to get themselves into the middle of a Holovid production, Brass's favorite show, actually, about the Deep Sixers, a group that runs a repair station. They have been told that by going ahead and being on this show, they can get upgrades for their ships as well as repairs for Brass's piloting skills. Unfortunately, this does threaten to expose both the mission that your resident Jedi is on, Rosa, and also the super advanced new hyperdrive that Rosa, in a force trance, went ahead and modified into a ship.
And also, there is a potential that Shock could be recognized by any of his
Yes,
enemies.
That's a good point. Chalk does have a past on the shadier side of the Star Wars universe, and, well, let's just say the Hutts caught him once already.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't want to have that happen again. Especially after previously in the campaign hacking into one of his old battles.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, bad things all around. Anyway, so our heroes have gone ahead and finished up a day of filming, which will, in, TV time, be extended to at least a whole week's worth of stuff. You are reconvening on the ship.
All right. So, how are things? So are we all like meeting together at the same time, or what?
Assuming that no one wants to be in another place.
Yeah.
No, for right now, I don't want to be on my own right now. I think I'm just gonna talk to the rest of the crew for a little bit.
Okay. Is anyone else?
Seeing as I've kind of been on my own.
Yeah. Anyway.
For most of last episode, so.
Mm-hmm.
Brass is like trying to shake out all the dust and shit that got on his outfit last time.
Yes, your brand new fancy outfit, which is covered in grease and carbon scoring and dust and all number of other things.
Yeah.
They really tried to muddy you up, didn't they?
Apparently.
Oh,
To be fair, they did pay for the codes.
Yeah.
I think they can do what they want with it.
Yeah, but after filming, it'll be hopefully. Yeah. Anyway.
so how did filming go with you guys?
Just fine for me.
Well, I have been threatened on multiple occasions. I think they're trying to start up a drama about me trying to steal the girl's boyfriend for some reason.
That's just.
Well,
that's,
that's yeah. Well, anyways, did you guys know that they're installing weapons and a warhead launcher on this thing?
yeah.
Yes.
Is that a normal addition that they make to ships on the show?
Most of the time, it's not really armaments. It's more of armor and getting a new slick look to it. But there have been some armament upgrades here and there.
Wait, carrying those things isn't standard here?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Quick clarification for all you players who might not be quite so familiar with Star Wars. Most ships have at least some self-defense weapons. That being said, warhead launchers, not common, and frankly, the ion cannon that you guys got is non-standard as well.
Yeah, that seems a little bit suspicious that they would be installing a warhead launcher. Like, how does a repair shop get access to armaments that have been used in military campaigns, such as the attack on the Death Star?
Well, that's easy. They fixed them. They fixed the ships, and what they thought they couldn't fix, they took, and then replaced.
I don't know. It just kind of strikes me a little odd that I don't know, that they would give strangers like us, they hardly know us, like that kind of firepower.
True, but we
We're
do
giving
have a
them
Jedi.
money. Yeah.
That being said, remember that a lot of post the during the war with the Imperial Remnant, a lot of a bunch of the repair forces for the Republic military, a lot of that stuff was relegated to the private sector because of a shortage of personnel. If I'm getting my histories correctly.
I don't know. I'm still a little bit feeling a little bit suspicious about this.
Well,
I mean, who do they actually think we are, giving us that kind of firepower? I mean, for all they know, we're just regular civilians on just.
And we live in a
Jedi.
dangerous
Sorry,
galaxy.
quick moment here, but I do have to point out you've got an outed Jedi in the party.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
That
sorry.
too.
That
Who
I-
basically have carte
Damn it,
blanche.
it is a thing that Chalk could be thinking.
Yeah, it is pretty much carte blanche though. Like
On a different note, Chalk, have you had any success in locating the data storage area?
I I
You
haven't found.
at this point.
I what now?
You haven't at this point.
I have not.
Frankly, you have not looked for it yet.
I haven't looked for it yet. I'm just I'm trying not to raise any red flags, like right off the bat. So next next day's shooting, I definitely will be looking for somewhere to slice into.
Chuck, just as a quick thing, you were pretty much had a camera on you the whole time during the last day shooting. Do you really think that you're going to be able to slice in while there's camera crews about?
That is true. I'll have to figure out find a time when the camera find a time to do that when cameras are not on.
Well,
or
they're
when
not on
filming's
now.
I mean, I don't know, but no, I might end up running into some trouble if I go out there right now. I don't know if the crew is still out there or if anybody from the cast is still there. I don't know who's still around.
Well, we have multiple people. We don't. This isn't just a you thing. We can all help, even though none of the rest of us can slice.
That is true. Did any of you find anything or what?
No, not really.
Okay, I'm just, you know.
Okay, so is the party going to go searching during this downtime, or what?
That is what Brass is suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, well, it's
I mean,
just kind
I'm
of.
not exactly sure what the big deal is, but
I don't know. Between an experimental hyperdrive that could change the way space travel functions for the entire galaxy, or the own personal connection that we have with one of our party members who doesn't really want to be found by one of the most notorious gangs in the entire galaxy, I will let you decide which should be our better motivation.
hut space is in the outer rim.
You'll find
and
spaces a lot
shrinking.
smaller.
Go ahead and roll for that.
Me?
Yeah,
Yep.
you.
I mean, I thought that was at least somewhat public knowledge.
It's fairly common knowledge, but you're a hack.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll knowledge 3D. You've got a skill towards this.
Yeah. 13.
13. Okay. What you know, given that you are from a more isolated part of the galaxy, you've never actually dealt with huts directly. However, many of the illegal smuggling, things that you might have run into during your time as part of the Happen military police had at least some connection to the huts. Whether that be through Black Sun or one of the actual hut clans themselves, they've got their fingers in a lot of pies. Again, you've never actually dealt with hut clans right up in front. Even, you've never dealt with a hut. You've not even dealt really with their enforcers or their underbosses or any of that kind of stuff. But their chops on a lot of illicit goods.
Right. So, but like, yeah, a lot of that stuff is from the outer rim, I take it.
You actually wouldn't know that. You just know that it's fairly ubiquitous.
Yeah. And like as far as that goes, how many resources are they willing to expend in order to track him down?
Real cheap.
Wanted poster is real cheap. However, they would also have to successfully identify him, which
Well,
Which is what we're trying to avoid.
trying to avoid that. That's kind of why I.
did the facial prostheses.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like I'm not saying that we shouldn't be careful and minimize screen time. And also I still don't understand about why the hyperdrive is such a big deal, but I can but I am well concerned about it. I mean, we are taking measures to defend against that.
and speaking of which, have they filmed anything in there, Rosa?
Sorry, repeat that again.
Have they filmed anything in the hyperdrive room?
Yes, and they're probably going to film more. I just want to find it and maybe get something in the works before they try to shoo us off.
All right. Well. All right. Anyways. All right. Let's see. I guess we should go take a look at what we take a look around.
Yeah. I agree to this.
Party gonna get sneaky?
Sneaky as you can get.
Being
Dressed like a Jedi.
I guess I have to. I don't really have much at sneak right now, but
fair, you could put on other clothes rather than your robes.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Do keep in mind that if you do get caught, they'll probably kick us out without repairing our ship.
I mean, they've already done some repairs on it.
The deconstruction of the broken materials. I didn't see them install anything.
True. That's true.
Well, then it's quite simple. We won't get caught.
Right, hold on.
Idiots.
Before we actually head out, I kind of would like to ask Rosa for some help with something.
What is it, Chuck?
Yeah. Today I've been trying to get in, try to get in touch with my force abilities. Unfortunately, I haven't really been very successful. I've been trying to sense some things, just trying to sense if we are in any danger. I just haven't really had much luck.
Sometimes the force is harder to. It's harder to tell how the force sees you, or how you see the force. I'm not the best at teaching this, so but I want you to real quick before we try to find this, because I don't. Okay, hold my hand.
Okay. I'll do that.
Graham, I'm sorry for forgetting your character's name.
Galena.
You help with this too.
She just kind of looks, and then
just hold my other hand.
Yeah. She just like grabs it awkwardly.
Okay. Great. Okay. I want you both to close your eyes.
Okay. I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Try to feel me through the force as I try to feel you through the force.
Okay. Let's see. So what do I do? I just roll my sense for that?
Hold on
Yes.
this one. So Rosa, I assume
Yes.
you're going to be kind of going ahead and projecting a beacon.
Yes.
Roll me your sense, which is 60 plus 1, as well as your alter 3D.
Lol. So 9D altogether?
No, separately.
Separately, okay. Alrighty. You son of a bitch, fate die.
What did you get?
No.
Oh no, that's the son of a bitch I rolled well, not the son of a bitch I.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, 21.
21 for your
The
sense.
sense, and then that 3D. What the hell? And 20.
Damn. Okay.
Ah.
All right. So the two of you are going to get a big old bonus for this one. Normally, the two of you both roll sense at 1D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. You're going to be rolling at a solid 3D.
Okay.
So roll 3D. Have a special die. Tell me if it comes up 6. Well, if it comes up 6, re-roll, add. If it comes up 1, tell me, and also give me the complete. And that's for both of
Alrighty,
you.
let's see.
14.
14. Okay.
16.
16. Okay. So, with both of your eyes closed and both of you holding on to one of Rosa's hands, suddenly you both feel as if you are bathed in light and a comfortable warmth, very similar to the sun on a pleasant summer afternoon.
Hmm.
Chalk, for you, this is your first experience with the Force. When you tried before, you couldn't see it, but this energy washes over you. And it goes through you, and you could tell that it's interacting with you. And the more that you feel and sense, the more that you can tell that it's not just coming from Rosa. It's all around you. It's in all of the things here, from the inanimate to the air to Brass, who is apparently not a Force sensitive, but even he is still connected to the Force. It's all around you, and it is as if your eyes have been opened. Galena,
Mhm.
when last you tried to use the Force to sense, you defaulted back to your physical training.
Mhm.
For you, when you feel this energy wash over you, it's not as if you're seeing, but it's as if the senses that you had relied on at that time have come alive and are giving you more information than you have ever known, except in those times of crisis when you had to do things perfectly, absolutely perfectly, and your body moved as if not just by training, but by something guiding you, and you were able to make it through those harrowing times. This reminds you of then, but this time you're conscious of what it actually was. It was the Force guiding you.
Mm.
Both of you go ahead and put down on your sheets sense life and sense force.
Okay, let's see.
Woo! I
Alrighty.
taught people something.
And you didn't even need to burn their hair this time.
No, I didn't.
Would have been real difficult with Chalk. He doesn't have any.
Exactly. It's a
But it would've been
challenge.
really
Sense force
impressive.
and sense what?
Life.
Sense force and sense life.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty, hold on. Sense force, sense life. Okay.
And both of those are sense powers. Obviously.
Now, both of you feel that, correct?
Oh yeah.
Feel the force flowing through you, flowing through everything around you.
Yeah. It is a bit it is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Now, Chalk, Galena, pay attention, please. I want you to think about how computers work and see if the Force will lead you to anything.
All right. How to... I'm going to try to do that.
Okay, so Galena,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have any skill on this one, unfortunately. So as you think about this one, your expansion of your worldview kind of starts to shut down stuff. You can still feel, at least somewhat, the Force, but it's coming away from you. It's pulling away. Shock, on the other hand, go ahead and make me let's see, you go ahead and make me a slicing roll.
Alrighty, what do I got there? That's
So that'd be a 5d plus 2.
5d plus 2. Gotcha. Hold on. 5d. D plus 2, that is a 19.
19. And did you come up with a 1 or a 6 on the action die?
No. No.
Okay. So 19, that'll give you a bonus on this. You are going to be rolling at 1d plus 2 for your sense roll now.
1d plus 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, let's see. 1d. Okay, let's see. That's a 5.
5. Okay. As you cast your attention out into the world and try and use your new way of looking at things, there aren't any real glimmers out there. Or it's probably better to say that there are too many. There are computers all throughout this ship, all throughout the heavy equipment. There are broken computers, modified computers. This entire space station is alive with computers.
Okay.
But as for the one that you're looking for, the Force is not telling you which one it is. That being said, well, you did do some illegal slicing for a while, so, casing the joint is a thing that people do.
Yes.
If the Force isn't guiding you, maybe your experience will.
All right. Let's see. What would I roll to kind of...
Go ahead and make me a street roll. Actually, no, make me a systems diagnostic roll. So
Okay.
your tech plus 2, so 40 plus 1.
40 plus 1. Okay, gotcha. Another 19.
19, very good. Okay. Though it probably isn't what your Jedi teacher wanted you to do specifically, you go ahead and you pull out your data pad and you plug in, and you start looking over the technical specs of the station that you've been able to grab.
Okay.
There are a number of facilities where there's very dense data storage. Any number of those could be a potential location for the information you're looking for.
Okay.
There is the main station computer core. There also seem to be, let's call it, 4 different ones that are smaller than that and appear to be installed for the purposes of businesses that work off this station. It's not just the Deep Six repair yard here.
All right.
And that's in the, the technical specs that you were able to get.
Okay. Let's
Do
see.
you go ahead and share this with the party?
I sure will.
Okay. What do people think of it?
Alrighty, guys. I've found some areas that could be the data storage. There's a pretty big one right over, kind of here, but there are other smaller ones that.
Yes.
That could be it, but that they don't belong to the deep sixers, but may belong to the crew, the filming crew.
Mm-hmm.
It's just well, we just have to just kind of logically figure out which one of those would most likely house any of the footage.
Mm-hmm.
You really think they'd keep footage on site?
Where else would they put it?
In the production, well, okay, what I mean is like on the site of the like mechanic shop. The one that's that's owned by the mechanics is probably your pricing data, reports for in case of legal authorities asking questions about repairs and stuff, like all essentially your paperwork or your like forms. It's probably with a production company.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That was kind of what I was thinking.
Well, how many are nearby that are possible?
Well,
Okay, you'd be able to get this just by the basic schematics. The station's not that large, and if you did like a little elementary cross-referencing, you'd be able to tell that one of these smaller data cores is in fact the one for the Deep Sixers. One of them is for an import-export business. One of them is for an overarching like food delivery company that essentially provides all of the food on the station. You know, very similar to one of your major cafeteria companies.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is actually unlisted.
Okay. I feel like we should look at the unlisted one just to kind of.
I mean, it makes
just kind of to see what exactly that is, but the fact that it is unlisted might mean that there might be a little bit of, we might have to be pretty sneaky about it.
You said there was an import-export business?
Yes, you would be able to see that from the schematics.
Okay, so it could be either one. It's a fairly common thing to disguise stuff that goes on, like where you put stuff for security reasons. Pretty common to call it an import-export, though it's also anyway. But yeah, you're probably right about it probably being that one. But how close are they to the import-export business? Just curious.
Which one are you talking about? How close is what?
How close is the unlisted one to the import-export business?
Unlisted one is on the other side of the station.
Okay.
It's just like on the rim, but they're in two different quadrants of the station.
Okay, I'm not that worried about casing out the unlisted one, because the import-export business, which is probably owned by organized crime, is on the opposite side of the station.
That's just talking bad about this station, this glorious station that hosts this television show. How dare you? No. Like Brass clearly seems take a little bit of offense to it, but he doesn't actually say that shit. But anyway. Brass then starts looking through his bag, where he pulls out his gyro grappler and his macro binoculars. These might be able to help get you to where you need and see where you need to.
Your macro binoculars are probably not going to be very useful unless you're planning on going on a spacewalk. It's inside a space station.
No,
The gyro grappler you might be able to do something with.
Yeah, then thinks about it for a moment, throws the macro binoculars back in. I'm not particularly stealthy in any way. Maybe I could keep a scout out?
Or stay on the ship and see what they've gone over.
Sure.
You could be my sparring partner.
I could do either. Sure, whatever best helps everyone.
Oh no, thanks. Brass bruises incoming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take it by this that Galena and Brass are planning to stay on the ship, and Chuck and Rosa are planning to get sneaky.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds
Although
like
I'm changing clothes first, because
Yes. Are you going to change back to your leathers and lizard skin, or are you going to wear something a bit more inconspicuous?
a bit more inconspicuous.
You
If
could
I
probably find a jumpsuit.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, we'll start with our sneaky party first.
Of course.
Okay.
So where are you planning on checking on first? For the record, of the 4 smaller data storages that you know about, the food service one is on the other side of the station from the Deep Sixers, and I've already gone ahead and talked about the other. The way that the station is set up is that there are 4 major landing bays that have their own platforms as well, which then all lead into a central spindle, which goes further up to a large disc that goes ahead and projects over some of the landing platforms as well. And those areas are essentially pied up for the most part based on the different docking bays.
Right. So, I'm going to guess that generally speaking, guests of the show either stay on their own ship, or if it's in such bad repair that they need to go to the saucer, they don't generally go to the saucer.
The saucer would actually have more living space in it. There's, rest stop sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Most of that is probably owned by the food service company, though some of it may be owned by the other ones, just to make sure that they've got a little extra space to keep a person in.
Right.
You obviously haven't been offered, some of the bunk room that Deep Six may have, because you've got a perfectly not exploded ship. Well,
Correct.
Imperfectly not exploded ship, but one that's not so exploded that the bunks don't work.
So, clearly the best option is to just seem like we're walking around, and then when we get a chance to duck into try to find an access port or something to that unlisted server. Hopefully that's not too heavily guarded or has cameras watching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay,
Just
so you're just
kinda-
going to make your way into the station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be heading up to the saucer then, in that case. And one of the things that you will notice as you go on your path, that the main computer core is in the spindle. So you are essentially passing it to get into the saucer.
Oh, good.
Okay.
When you go by it, there doesn't seem to be any particularly heavy security there. I mean, there's maintenance doors, there's some holocams, because, why wouldn't you for the main computer core of the damn station? But there's no armed guards. there's no like ray shields that you can tell that would just like go ahead and cut it off. It's just, like standard. We don't want everyone monkeying around in this place. Shut the doors, lock the doors.
Yeah, no, clear.
But if you're not going to be going after that for the moment, you can go ahead and take the turbo lift up the spindle and get into the saucer.
Seems good. I mean, considering that this is only my second space station I've ever been on.
First, actually, the one that you're thinking of was actually an Imperial Star Destroyer that's been
Oh,
turned
whoops,
into
my
a-
bad.
Oh, this is the first.
This is a big event in Rose's life. He's going to be on Holovision, and
I wonder how his fiance would feel about that.
well, yes and no.
No, like legitimately, yeah. How would she feel about this?
Let's just say there's more of a personal reason for Rosa not to have his face plastered on Holovision. For a number of reasons. And let's also say that Mara Jade probably would not be too happy about this.
She might not be thrilled. Okay.
So yes, the women in Rosa's life are going to be very clear that they're not happy that he was on Holovision, and he is regretting agreeing to be on this show.
All the more reason to go ahead and crash the fuck out of this server.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, time to crash the fuck out of this server. For instance, after we've left and they can't call us back to do reshoots.
Right.
So sorry,
You're
Saving
right.
the Galaxy can't come back. Really should invest in better infosec, I guess. So Chuck,
Yeah.
given that the Jedi is oddly kind of gawky about this station, what's he doing?
I don't know. I'm just trying to look natural, I guess.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, after your short ride up the spindle, turbolift doors open up, and there's some people around at this time of night, but it seems like a great deal of the people are either sleeping off their shift or they're in bars. You can go ahead and, well, Rosa, you will see this because you're you, but Chuck, you'll be able to hear that, that people are like drinking, singing drinking songs. There may be the muffled sounds of a fight. There is a fight. There's definitely a drinking culture on this station, but you really shouldn't be surprised. Actually, if anything, it kind of would remind you of some of the nicer areas on Nar Shaddaa, where the blue collar workers drink their paychecks away to make themselves feel better.
Mm.
It's kind of sad, but that's how it is.
Yep.
Hell, you've probably been in some of those bars.
Yep. I definitely have.
But yeah, if you want to go ahead and just like walk through the station, try and make your way close to the unlisted server, that's probably going to be very doable. Are you going to make your way there, or are you going to establish yourself as being on the saucer and having a reason for it? What's the call?
It's I don't know.
The call is that Brass was too embarrassed to come up and try to get some swag from being on the show. So we being polite crewmates, and thinking better than inviting one particularly hot-headed Happen, decided to come up and pick him something up as a surprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there is, a small selection of shops and such, some of which do have touristy, kitschy stuff based on the show, some of which are just like random crap that you might need while living and working on this station. Are you going to head over to the Market District, which is actually fairly close to where you get off of the turbolift?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's kind of do
Make it out.
let's just do that. Just make it look like we are up here for a reason other than trying to hack things.
Unlisted servers.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and do that, is there anything that you're looking for in particular?
Let's see. Is there anything? I'm not really sure if there's anything that I really want. I specifically want to get, but
Okay. Rosa, do you have any ideas here?
really.
I'm going to do what I always do when I don't know what to do, which is let the force guide me to what Chuck would want the most.
Roll sense. 60 plus 1.
You son of a bitch. Alright, that one went on the floor. I'm not going to get that. Okay.
What do we get?
24.
24. Okay. So tell me, Brass, what would Brass like with a big old Deep Six service station logo emblazoned upon it?
He would definitely be interested in he needs like a pin for his hat for sure. Like
Okay.
that's definitely up there.
Would like a leather jacket with it just like right across the back be something that you would wear?
That would work for him for sure.
Okay, Rosa, you are guided inevitably by the Force towards a clothing store.
Oh no. If the greater universe has taught Rosa anything, it's that he should be fearful of these places.
And yet the Force draws him inevitably towards this one. It probably helps the fact that everything there appears to have the same logo stamped upon it.
Yes. Apparently.
And yeah, with your roll, you are definitely able to go ahead and tell that not only just a pin for the hat, but a brand new hat, such as one of the ones that, let's see, Vez has been rocking for the past 2 seasons, and are just, you can't find them out in the galaxy at large for love or money, but apparently they've got versions of them here with the logo on it. There's, this like all-weather jacket made of bantha hide that has some really nice fine internal lining that is garishly screen printed up with a number of scenes from the show's greatest hits.
Well, this is going to cost a pretty tooth. And probably all of my allowance.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah. I need... it's for a friend, but I need that hat, the bantha skin jacket, and the pin, the green one, please.
Very good, sir. Let's see, just bringing this up here. Did you fly in from out system? Are you going to be leaving system as soon as you leave this station?
It's just a short trip, so yeah, we're going to be leaving as soon as we...
Okay, I can give you the duty free. They quote a number, which gives you another novel experience, Rosa. You feel your eyes bugging.
Okay. Yeah, that's sounds about right.
Chuck, go ahead and roll Streetwise for me.
Streetwise. What do I got for that? That's just my knowledge then.
Yep.
That would be 3D plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3D plus 1. That would be a 9.
9. Okay, that sounds like about the right price to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, it's fair enough. I mean, this is licensed merchandise,
Quality
Yeah.
materials.
quality materials, and they usually do hike up the prices on these like touristy places.
Okay, so yeah, Chuck's just giving you the go-ahead that this is the proper pricing.
It's a little high, but that's kind of to be expected with like stuff like this.
Is Rosa going to pay for it?
I'm, yes, going to pay for it.
Okay, you hand over the credit chip. It is not declined. Thank you, sir. Please shop here again. You now have a shopping bag with a hat, a pin, and a bantha hide jacket in it. All of them emblazoned with the show and the repair station's logos.
Right. So, okay. Well, now we just need to. All right, Chuck. Didn't you have one more thing we needed to go look for?
Are we saying this like in view of other people?
Yes, there are other people around us.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not
There's
busy at the moment, but there are still people in the bazaar.
yeah. Well, we need to look at another shop, I guess.
Let's do that real quick before we head back down.
Yeah.
I assume that you're going to head off towards the unlisted server?
Yeah,
Yes.
circuitously.
Fair enough. Both of you roll me a perception, and if you have search, you can add it. So, Rosa, that's going to be a 40 plus 2.
Okay.
3D. Yeah, that's just a 3D plus 1 for me again.
Yep.
21.
Okay.
Okay, 3D. Plus 1, that is a 12.
12. Okay. Actually, it probably makes sense that it goes this way. Chuck, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary here as you walk through the hallways. But Rosa, as you get further this way, no humans whatsoever. Like, frankly, you're not even seeing very many near humans.
Okay.
Gonna continue onward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just
as
going
I
to be
did.
looking out for some things now.
Okay. So as you get further into the station, eventually even near humans drop off entirely. You appear to be the only Miraluka in this portion of the station, Rosa. That being said, Chuck, you are given no second glances. But even with the fact that you don't notice it at first, Chuck, you're probably going to start noticing that people might be giving your companion some nasty looks.
Okay.
Eventually, you'll be able to make your way over to the other server. Rather, to the server. This one is guarded, or at least the compartment that you believe it to be in is guarded by a couple of very large aliens. Remember that, like, killer whale from the bar fight way back when y'all met?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
2 of them.
Brass remembers.
Yeah, 2 herdlicks are standing in front of that door. And it's not
Okay.
just that they're, like, standing there in jumpsuits or such, you can tell that they're wearing armor and they got blasters.
Oof, okay. This is pretty
Rosa,
high security here.
with your specific ability in the Force, you can actually look into the room, and there's people that are doing some computing in there. It's not just the server. There's also a number of terminals, and even at this late time of night, there's people on them.
I think we took a wrong turn, Chuck, buddy.
What makes you say that?
Well, generally, I don't think they have these two fine herdlicks here for people just to walk around the market district. I think we better turn around.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think that they would have this sort of security for just film footage and stuff.
Okay, so as our two heroes bravely walk in the other direction, we're going to cut back to the two on the ship. So your Slicer and your Jedi have just walked down the ramp and headed on out. What do?
Time to get some bruises, I guess.
Don't
Okay.
worry, I'm only running over some rudimentary grapple defense. We've got she has forearms, which means she'll probably try to use that in a fight against somebody. That superior limb advantage against me.
I know that Happens don't have particularly good eyes, but she's a female herdlick. She has 8.
Oh, right. She's probably going to try to use her limb advantage against me.
That's highly likely.
Yep. So I'm going over some grapple defense, and so it should be pretty easy. Just going over the fundamentals. I'm not going to throw you across the room.
Sure.
Also, I'd also like to have you throw me so that I can practice falling.
I can try. I'm not exactly. He thinks for a moment. Never mind.
What was he about to say?
He's about to say, I don't exactly know how much you weigh, and then thought much better.
The learning is strong with this one. So,
I'm just taking a look at Brass's character sheet. You don't actually have brawling or any martial arts, so
Yeah,
you'll be just rolling straight strength.
Yep, 3D.
yeah, but
And Alina, far higher dice code.
Yeah.
Let's see. It is going to be 60.
Oh, time to get some bruises. 10. 28. No.
No, yeah. Like, what do you have there, Grandma boy?
23.
I was
23.
surprisingly close.
Okay, so Brass, not really knowing exactly what to do. I mean, you know how to swing around an electro pole just fine, an atlatl just fine, but this like no weapons in your hands thing. Why would you not have a weapon?
Yeah.
All right. You just like charge forward towards her, arms out, you know, like trying to get her in a bear hug or something. And Galena, what do you do?
Oh, so she's just
Also
going
roll
to
me strength.
me.
Yeah, you.
I'm not. I
Both of you.
I was going to try to
Oh,
Okay.
God. 6 with a 1 on the wild die.
Galena, roll strength.
Oh boy.
13.
Okay, so what do you do? And this is gonna hurt.
So she's gonna try not to hurt him, but I assume that he's gonna. But she's also gonna assume that culturally, teaching people how to go with like this kind of thing if they're in the military is kind of normal. So
Right.
she's not gonna hold back either. She's going to step to the side and just kind of as he's running, just like duck into a defensive guard and with a little bit back, and then kick out the leg as he's coming forward.
Okay. So yeah, Brass,
Yep.
you could have sworn that your foot was supposed to catch you at that point. Unfortunately, it's your face doing it right now.
Yeah. I see.
It's a good thing that you had your arms out. They broke the fall of that.
He has to recoil for a second before he stands back up. Ow.
Now, did you not know how to tuck and roll?
I've never been taught that. No, I'm not much of a fighter, and when I do, I have my Atlatl and my Electro Pole on me. Like, you're gonna do fun stuff with that, but not really. I always have something in my hands when I fight, normally.
I mean, even then, what happens if somebody overwhelms you and gets you and tosses you over something, or you fall or you trip on the terrain?
Well, normally I just take the face plant and get up.
It's like, and this is why we don't let men run things. So, why don't you stand up and stand across from me on the mat? We're gonna teach you how to fall first.
Sure. He slowly does so. Yeah.
Okay, Galena, go ahead and roll Happen Martial Arts plus knowledge.
Knowledge plus happen martial arts. So that's 2D on martial arts, plus knowledge is 3D, so that's 5D.
5D for this one.
Yeah. All right. Wild die.
And Winter, you will be rolling your dexterity.
Alright.
6 on the wild die.
Oh, this time I got a 6 on the wild die. So,
Very nice.
18.
18, okay. And what did you get, Graham?
2, 4, 6. 21.
21. Okay. Though you have an early initial bit of trouble, given that you're working with a Gungan, not another human, and the joints are a little bit different, just anatomy is not quite the same, you are able to go ahead and teach Brass how to break fall. And if you want to go ahead and impart some other martial arts knowledge, you can probably get some of that in too.
I'm also going to go over a couple of grapple defenses, just because that's what I'm working on.
Okay.
So so close up, personal. If they get past your weapon, here's some good stuff if they try to throw you around.
So a little bit of wrestling, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
But basically teaching him to avoid the ground game by making sure that instead of the ground game, they put them on the ground and then kick them from a standing position.
Winter, go ahead and roll me another dex.
7.
7. Okay. The break fall you took two, but this is not quite getting in as much. That being said, at the end of the session, if you like, you will be able to add martial arts to your dex list if you want to. Sure. Though not specialty.
Yeah. Ooh. So
Not bad for your first lesson. I had far more trouble than you did.
well, that's comforting considering most of the time I'm just reading stuff and doing survival training rather than fighting. If you need
Well, I mean,
teaching of that, I gotcha.
survival technique. I will tell you that the survival techniques here are far different from the ones I'm used to. That would be useful.
Well,
Also, how do you think our friends are doing?
I'm sure they're
They're-
doing fine.
I hope they at least know enough to back off when they see the guards.
And I trust Rosa. Rosa seems like a very smart person, and I know Chalk is, so I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's to hoping. But she's gonna pull out her data slate. All right, so about this survival stuff.
Yes. Well, first step, if you can, always come prepared. I mean, that's just the easiest step, though. That's why my pack is completely filled with stuff. Never leave home without your handy water purifier, just in case you crash land. You always need your water. Gotta set up your fires. Gotta know that, though we can't exactly do it here. I'll teach you some other time about that.
At this, Galena pulls out her survival. She does have a, if she gets caught out, it's essentially just a butane lighter. It's like, we did learn some things in basic trading.
Yeah.
Okay, Brass, go ahead and make me a knowledge survival roll.
Alright.
It'll be 40 for you.
16.
16. Okay, excellent. And Galena, go ahead and make me a straight knowledge roll.
A what? Straight knowledge?
Roll. Yep.
Um, 10 even.
10 even. Okay. A lot of this is going over your head, but you feel like with a little bit more time, you should be able to pick it up.
Which is why she's taking some major notes here.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and have our first break with this recording session. We will be back soon. So those of you watching at home, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah.